Hello everyone, good afternoon. Today I want to talk a little bit about the week 3 assignment 2 on decision making. This is a two-part assignment. The assignment is on B&T Faces Incorporated. It's a makeup company. They currently produce small plastic containers used to provide samples of the products. Management is interested in outsourcing the production of the plastic containers to a reputable manufacturing company that can supply the containers for 4 cents each. B&T Faces Incorporated incurs the following monthly cost to produce 1 million plastic containers internally. So it says that they have variable production cost of 2 cents per unit, and the total monthly cost at 1 million units is $20,000. And then fixed production costs are $25,000. Total production costs then would be $45,000. If production is outsourced, all variable production cost and 70% of fixed production cost will be eliminated. You are to perform a differential analysis. Assume making the containers internally is alternative 1, and buying the containers from an outside manufacturer is alternative 2. So we're basically just looking at the numbers and deciding which way would be best. Okay, so which alternative is best? Explain your reasoning. Summarize the results of the outsourcing production of the containers. Assume all the facts of this problem remain the same. However, management of B&T Faces Incorporated has an opportunity to lease the space it currently uses to produce the containers for $4,000 per month if production of the containers is outsourced. Determine if B&T Faces Incorporated would be better off outsourcing production, and identify at least one qualitative factor that would be considered or should be considered before management decides to outsource production of the containers. Part 2 is the product line decision, and they're giving you a monthly segmented income statement. So they give you the sales revenue for the foundation, the blush, and the eyeshadow, and then the total. They give you the variable cost for each, the contribution margin for each, the direct fixed cost for each, an allocated fixed cost for each, and then the profit for each, as well as the total for all of these. It says that management is concerned about the low profit associated with the blush product line, as is considering dropping this product line. Allocated fixed costs are assigned to product lines based on shelf space used by each product line, and that's measured in square feet, resulting in the following percentages for foundation, blush, and eyeshadows. So for foundation, it's 20%, blush, it's 50%, eyeshadow 30%. If the blush product line is eliminated, total allocated fixed costs can be assigned as followed. 62.5% would be assigned to foundation, and 37.5% would be assigned to eyeshadow. All variable and direct fixed costs for the blush product line will be eliminated. You are to perform a differential analysis. Assume keeping all product lines is alternative 1 and dropping the blush product line is alternative 2. Which alternative is best? Explain. Summarize the result of dropping the blush product. Assume the space available from dropping the blush product line can be used by the eyeshadow product line, resulting in an increased revenue for eyeshadows of $12,000 and increased variable cost for eyeshadow of $4,000. No additional direct fixed costs would be incurred, and 80% of allocated fixed costs would be assigned to eyeshadows and 20% would be assigned to foundation. Should the company drop the blush product line and use the freed up space to expand the eyeshadow product line? Alternative 1 assumes all product lines are kept, and alternative 2 assumes that the blush product line is dropped with a corresponding expansion of the eyeshadow product line. So you have a template here, and what you're going to do is just input the information. Okay, so here, variable product cost, you're going to list the cost to buy from the outside, the variable cost, okay? The first one for alternative, of course, is going to be 0, because if you're doing it internally, you're not buying it from outside. Okay, so that would be 0. And then you'll just have to go back through the information that you're given and find the variable cost and the fixed production cost. And both of those are given in the problem, okay? So they're telling you the variable production cost is $20,000 and the fixed production cost is $25,000, okay? And then also here it says if production is outsourced, all variable production cost and 70% of fixed production cost will be eliminated. Okay, so as you come over here, looking at alternative 2, it tells you the variable costs will be eliminated, and then it gives you some information about how the fixed production costs would be changed. Okay, so you're just going to have to do those calculations. I have some little asterisks here and a place here for you to actually work out the calculations, okay? And then you'll just subtract to see the difference. When you're doing a differential analysis, all you're really doing is taking two alternatives, subtracting to see what is the difference, okay? And then here you will indicate whether it is higher or lower. Okay, so here where it says alternative 1 is, and I gave you the first one to show you that I want you to write out the words lower, okay, or higher, whichever one it would be, okay. And so you'll just work through that, and then in part B, okay, so my computer's messing up a little bit, but in part B, you will explain which alternative you think is best, and you'll explain your reasoning. Whether they're saving money or not, you will explain that here in part B, okay? And then in part C, let's see if I can get it to come up, you will assume all the facts of this problem remain the same. However, management of B&T Phases has an opportunity to lease the space it currently uses to produce containers for $4,000 a month. So everything the same, except that here you can see that they are getting revenue here for leasing the space. So you have to take that into consideration. Okay, so this problem really just requires very carefully and methodically going through the information and filling in the blanks here in the template. Okay. Okay, so my computer is just not cooperating very well with me today. So here you'll do the results of the outsourcing production, list the cost increase to buy from outside, and then list your variable cost savings and the fixed cost savings, and then total this together to get the cost increase from outsourcing. So the amounts shown in the parentheses indicate a negative impact on profit, and amounts without parentheses indicate a positive impact on profit. Okay, and then here you're doing really the same thing, except that in this one you are looking at leasing the space. So you would list that $4,000 that they would get from listing or leasing the space. And then in the next part, you will identify here in part E, identify at least one qualitative factor that should be considered before management decides to outsource production of the containers. And so everybody's going to come up with something a little bit different, and you'll just have to think about what you think might be a qualitative reason. Could be many different things, okay? And then you have part 2, which is basically the same thing. But here we're looking at whether or not we should keep the blush, drop the blush, or keep it and expand the eyeshadow. So again, they've really given you the information. So for like sales revenue, you really don't have to look anything up or calculate anything because they've given it to you in the chart, in the problem, okay, as well as the variable cost, the contribution margin, all of that. So you will just fill this in, and then with alternative 2, then you will look at what would happen if you drop the blush and expand the eyeshadow. So notice here we're looking at what our sales revenue would be if we drop the blush, and here try to get my computer to cooperate so I can actually see this. Okay, so here you'll just need to go through and look at all the information and decide, you know, how these sales figures would change based on the information that they gave you. For example, there would be additional sales, there would be additional variable costs, the allocation of the fixed cost, it changes a little bit, and they're giving you all of that information. So just need to really read the problem very closely and think about how it would change if you took out the blush. And they're telling you things like how the fixed costs would be allocated, 20% to one product and 80% to a different product. So my advice on this problem is read through it several times, make notes, and, you know, kind of get a picture and an image in your mind of what would happen and how these costs would change if you made changes, okay? And then you're just going to do the differential analysis where you get the figures for each and then subtract and then determine which is higher or lower for each, just like you did in the top one. Okay, so I hope that this helps a little bit, get you started on your assignment. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. There are check figures, as you can see, to help you determine if you are on the right track. I have not found any errors so far in this problem, but, you know, it's human nature to make mistakes. So if you come across something you just can't get the right answer and you think, I just know I'm right, don't hesitate to email me and let me take a look. It could be something simple that you're doing. It could be a typo in the answer key. Like I said, so far I have not found anything, but you never know. And it could just be a very simple math mistake or something that you're doing incorrectly that I can help get you right back on the right track. Okay? So good luck, everybody. I'm here if you need me. Don't hesitate to email if you have questions. And good luck, everybody.